Hey guys, how's it going? So I wanted to talk about OpenClaw a little more and show you where I'm at after 2 weeks. The first week, I really slow rolled things and was trying to keep very secure and add as many guardrails as I could while I'm adding stuff. The second week, the past couple of days, I've been touching and dabbling and building on top of things and connecting things more dynamically. And I figured I would just run through where I'm at in case anyone else was interested. All right, so we're on our OpenClaw page. I'm not going to go into the back end and how this works, more like what I've been doing. If you have questions and want to see more videos like how-tos of OpenClaw, let me know down in the comments. But from this standpoint, I, when I first started using this, I really wanted to keep track of the bugs, the issues I was having, ideas I had, and I built this back end for this, and including my usage. I kept running out of tokens a lot, which is actually funny because OpenClaw has started adding that, like usage. We can see they have a back end now where they track your tokens, how much it would be, things of that nature, which is kind of cool. Knowing that, especially if you're on a subscription plan, excuse me, uh, which I think is the way to go right now. But with that being said, let's jump in the back end. There's more to show there on how everything's connected. So we have our main back end. Our bot is called Calex, Calex. That's what we named it. I like keeping everything in this Superman universe when it comes to networking and everything here. So I have my gateway status. I could tell that I'm running my uptime right now, my session, my heartbeat. So I use different models for different things. So this gives me a dynamic. Again, we're looking at dynamic. I don't want things hard coded. So it would tell me what my current model is for my heartbeat right here. What my current model is for coding, which is Sonnet. What I'm using for image generation. What my primary model is, what my fallback model is, and my second fallback. Also, what OpenClaw version we're running. And I could see right now that there was an update today. Wasn't even aware of it. I updated like 2 days ago. So updates have been coming pretty quickly. Every like day or two, there's been an update, which again is interesting because we're seeing the back ends grow and things grow quite a bit. Backups are very important. So over here, I have my last backup, what my commit name was, and if it's been backed up. So over here, I would see how many files have not been committed or unsaved, like 4 or 5, whatever it is. Right now, I backed up before this video, so it's showing clean. And I could see if I click on here, it will show us going to our Git T, because I have an open source GitHub service running on a NAS here. And this is it. So I could see all the information and notes I have about that. If I scroll down, like I was saying, I have my API usage on the left-hand side, my Claude, my GPT. Also, we're kind of back to using APIs for Windows search. And it's something that people don't think of that much because in ChatGPT now, we could do a search for the web. But remember the days when you used to have to click the button to tell it to use the web? That's because it uses a separate API. And that API isn't usable in the AAuth. So you need to use a different search API. I'm using Brave. Some people use Google. I think Google gives you like 3,000 a month. Brave gives you 2,000. I may add the other one in addition. I want to see how much I use it in a month. Rate limits, I want to see when the last time I hit a rate limit was. So it will document it here. So February 2nd at 9:39 a.m., I hit a rate limit. That's something I want to know. Next to that is my messenger monitor. If I open up my messenger here, you could see I have a chat here. This is Messenger. This is how I communicate with Collex when I'm not at a computer. I'll text it, or even if I'm at a computer, it might just be better to text. Uh, with that said, I use that a lot. I also add it to groups, and basically, what this messenger monitor is if he's enabled or disabled in the chat that he's currently in. So will it listen to the chat or won't it? It will only respond to me. Those are some of the guardrails. Like I was saying, I've been putting a lot of guardrails in. It will only listen to me and respond to me. But if I have it on, it will listen to what the room's saying. So if I ask it for a summary or I ask it what someone said, it will know. But I've noticed that that burns through a lot of tokens leaving it on in a very active room. So having the ability to disable it and enable it is nice. I did find a bug on that. Is it can't tell the difference between a group message or a DM, and I'm hoping someone fixes that soon. So let's keep scrolling down here. I have my daily journal. So I noticed with sessions, you run out of sessions, right? It only references a single session that you're in. But I wanted to do a daily journal where it would take all the sessions we did for the day and put them into one journal, right? So if I go to February 9th, which is today, it's not done yet, but it will pull in all the sessions on everything I did today and put it in here. And again, the idea is dynamic and searchable, right? So because it's in here, it's now searchable. And one of the recent updates was a vector database they added so that the searching, it becomes a lot quicker and a lot easier. So all of this goes into that database. So let's keep moving down the list up here. So the dashboard, we have system. So I have an about collects. So this is my bot. Me collects. Never sleeps, occasionally widdly, always useful. So going back to dynamics. So I tell collects, this is his profile page. Write what you want here. Keep notes of what you do and everything, including its profile picture. Its profile picture, I have put it in the gallery. We'll get to that in a minute. And depending on what alias I give it, it will know that's his photo or not. If we scroll down here, we'll see he's been running for 312 hours. He's 312 hours old. I also did a little cheat. If I hover over it, you'll see it changes. It's saying it's 13 days old. So again, like I said, I've been using it for about 2 weeks now. And that kind of hit the nail on the head. There's 28 skills that I've taught it. It has 22 lessons. So before I said we keep track of bugs, issues, and I also keep track of something called lessons learned. So when we run through something, I'll be like, what did you learn on this? Save that as a file. So it doesn't have to figure it out again at another time. So down here, personality, all this information, again, is dynamic. It's going to pull it as it changes. What can I do? It has channels to iMessage, the tools. It could manipulate files, shell commands, web search and browsing, image analysis, code execution, cron job scheduling, session management, iMessage control, Apple Calendar and reminders, YouTube channel management, QMD, that's the vector database I was talking about, Git operations, and then I have certain like APIs and stuff in here, right? Integrations. So I have the YouTube data API. I have B, which is a wearable pendant that listens all the time. It's pulling that information in as well. My Apple contacts, tracked, so I could ask it what show's coming on tonight that I'm following. Brave search, Git T, mission control dashboard, which is what we're on. Environment stuff. I also have recent learning things down here. Origin. So yeah, that's the about Calyx page. Docs just link back to OpenClaw docs in case you need it. So under content, we're broken down to 3 sections. So we have a video workplace, which is mostly my YouTube videos. I could come in here and keep track of them. So in here right now, the last video on OpenClaw was waking up with OpenClaw, which was alive. So I have a little live indicator here. I have the description of that, some titles I was A/B testing, video formats. I shot it in both vertical and landscape, the description, pinned comments, my tags, notes. So I keep that in there so I could go back and forth. And then I have the transcript, right? So my SRT from my DaVinci, I throw in here. This is kind of what I use to make my chapter markers. I point out in, chapters I think is relevant and use that. So the idea is it would start, I haven't made that many videos the past couple of weeks. I've been kind of on vacation with family visiting. But with that said, this will get built out more as the time goes. So the next thing on the content is our knowledge base. So again, we were talking about this. These are the issues. Web chat, heartbeat, visibility is one that's later. One of my latest ones, issue with iMessage's tokens, control and response. If I keep scrolling, or you'll see this little GitHub thing icon on the left. This will, if I click on it, open up to the GitHub page where I actually made the bug report. So anything with a GitHub icon is showing that it's been submitted as a bug report. The next tab over is learned. So these are all things that we've learned together, things that I think it's worth remembering. And again, if I click on any of these, I was doing some experimenting with screen recording earlier today with FFmpeg and Swift Capture, trying to see which one does a better job at it. Again, if you're interested in any of this stuff, let me know down in the comments. And then I have like ideas, stuff I may want to add. Notice the little check mark next to them. Those are ones that we already implemented. It's still in here. So that's our knowledge base. If we keep going, now we have our image gallery. So one of the issues I've run in with using this back end is it uses WebSockets. And WebSockets have a cap on how large an image can be or how much data goes. It bugs it out. It basically kills your web session to the point that you need to create a new session and or restart your gateway. So in order to get around this, when I submit an image, it will put it into this image gallery and then post a link to it. The problem isn't so much giving it the image, it's it previewing the image in the web browser that actually crashes it. If I do this in iMessage, it works fine. This is a web browser thing. But since I'm doing that, I'm like, let's take it a step further. And this is the rabbit hole I keep talking about. You find other uses and keeping everything dynamic. So my original photo was of Kelex, was actually spelled Kelex, and I've changed it, was this image over here, this blue one. If we click on it, we'll see a name alias. I added this so Kelex knows if I refer to something by a specific image, it will know that. So an example would be is I had this as his profile image. So I had this named as Kelex profile, and it was able to refer to that and use that image at other places in the website or if I request it. So if I sent a text and said, send Kelex profile image to so-and-so, it would send that image, right? Or whatever this alias is. I also have it pull in an AI description of that image also. And again, back to dynamics, it's being dynamic. I'm having it pull in and create that on its own based on vision. For the reason being, it's searchable. If I can't remember the name, oh, that blue robot that I did a week ago, it will get that. So back to his current image, which is over here, this Kelex profile, you could see I named it. And because I named it there, it's now in the Kelex about up here. because it's dynamic. So it's a lot of these like linking back and forth. And I have these marked as favorites. So when I mark it as a favorite, it will then create that AI description. I didn't want it to waste tokens on everything, just what I want to save. I also have this set to wipe because I don't want this building up too much. Um, and I could click edit and edit it right now, or I could say clean up old images and it'll wipe the old ones. But it's set for 1 month right now. Anything over a month will get erased, assuming it is not favorited. Okay, so let's keep going here. We're going to go to data right now. The ledger is actually my B pendant. I haven't been using it that much until now. I'm kind of bringing it back from the grave. They used to have an API. They just brought that API back literally this week. So I'm hooking into that API and pulling that information in. So I'm not going to look at the 9th because it's not processed yet. I'll look at, because today is the 9th, I'll look at one of the older ones. You could see in here, day at a glance, I have a brief summary. If I open up people, I could see the people in here, talk to the pharmacy. My son has his wisdom tooth pulled, so that's what this day was about. Information on all that. Tech tools. So I have everything in here, including if I click on this little icon to the right, it will bring me down to the bottom. And right here, if I click on this is the raw transcription. If I click on this button on the right, this is what it's pulling from B. That's the raw transcripts. That day, I only had it running when I went to the doctor with my son, so it's not huge. But if I go back to something a bit older, you could see that the transcripts could get to be multiple files because you can run this 24/7. So it's like 4 files for a 16-hour day or something like that. So it can get very long. So yeah, I'm still playing with this and configuring it. I might have it make some other markdown files, but for right now, this is importing it. I just started using it again, so we'll see how that goes. These are also editable. If I click the edit button, I can come in here and edit. I will cancel that. So the next thing on here is business. So this is something that's really new that I've been tweaking today. So I had a event or job that's coming up soon, site survey. If I click on it, and go to, oh, it actually broke. Again, there you go. There should be a details file in here, and I do not see the details file, so it's not working. So we are live. Let's go in here. Okay, just noticed in the business section, the cards are not showing the default this details markdown file anymore. What happens to it? So just to give you a quick, look at this. I found the issue. The API isn't returning the details marked down in the file list. Let me check if. So it could be that it's only checking 5 files and it should be 6, is what it sounds like it's doing. But that details file should be the default one that it shows when I click on it. So even though it's not showing, if it's almost like it's not loading it, it's not that it's just showing it. We get these event gap detections once in a while too. That usually means I have to refresh the page. That only happens on remote computers because it's not running on this machine. It looks like it's refreshing the unicorn dashboard. Okay, refresh. Now it's in there, and look, it's defaulting. So it just wasn't loading it for some reason. So yeah, so I have this. So if I forward an email to collects, it will take that email and break it up. So it breaks it up into multiple files. The first one being details. It's kind of like the details from the whole email. And I'm not going to scroll through this too much. But from there, it will take that information and break it down into links, questions, contacts, and equipment, right? And I also have a notes, which is for me to add additional notes. Again, these are all editable. I have an edit, preview, save, and I have a share. I just added the share. It will ask you where you want to email it to, and you could email that person that document if you want. I could also upload and add a file into this project itself. But yeah, ultimately, without going in and showing too much private information, that's what it looks like. I also have tech news. So I use, if you follow me, you might know that I use InnoReader a lot. I like curated news. I like RSS feed still. A lot of people like AI doing it. I like trusting my sources and knowing when I'm getting it from. So I have a very curated RSS feed that I use in InnoReader. I like choosing it and only doing that. I have that forwarding those folders. So let's say Apple is the first one. I have like 20 Apple RSS feeds in that one folder, and this is pulling that folder. So it pulls all that in when I ask for it. So the idea is I could ask it for what's the latest Apple news today, and it will go through that and show you. Well, I mean, let's try it. What's the latest Apple news from today? So these are the top stories. So again, this is just convenient because if you're on your phone and you wanted to get something real quick, I mean, I'll use InnoReader on my phone. Come on. But if I'm looking for something specific, or I want to get an idea for some videos, I could ask it, how's, OpenClaw today, and it would pull from my feeds. Anyway, just wanted to share where I'm at on this journey. Let me know down in the comments. Are you using OpenClaw? What are you using it for? Are you going down rabbit holes like I am? Are you documenting stuff? All right, guys. Well, I wanted to share where I am on this journey. Let me know if you guys are using it or thinking about using it. I don't think it's ready for prime time yet. It is not a turnkey service. It is more of a development process, right? If I don't think it's ready for real business work. I think if you want to use it on the side, fine. But using it to replace somebody or thinking that you're going to save a lot of time, um, I don't know. Will it be around in 2 months? Will there be something better in 2 months, the way things are going? I don't know. It's up to you. But let me know in the comments below your thoughts. Catch you next time.